Hey, Chilly, good afternoon. Thank you for joining me.
Hey, honey.
We're going to wait a couple of minutes and then we'll get started.
Okay, no problem.
Oh, look, it's my fearless leader, Camille. Hey, girl.
Hey, happy. It's so pretty today. Oh my goodness.
Is it?
It is. Finally, it's like an 88 with just, not humid. It's just beautiful.
That's good to hear, honey, because y'all, I know y'all deserve it in Houston, what y'all been going through. Because, woof.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very nice.
Oh, look, Camille left, so now we have Happy. Yeah, so that means we can get ratchet. So, let me tweet out my link. Happy, we're going to get started in a couple of minutes.
So
And
much going on. Oh my goodness.
so much, honey. I got some good tea for y'all today. I was reading some of these. I was like, ooh, ooh. Even I was gagging.
Really?
Oh, yes, honey. Even I was gagging. You know, it takes a lot to gag me.
Well, I know. You be gagging, folks, not the other way around.
Hello.
I was going to Beaumont this weekend, but my cousin had a medical emergency come up with her son, so she's not
Oh,
gonna be there.
no.
Yeah, it's resolvable, but he needs her right now.
Yeah.
So I'll be here.
I'm going to share Sherry's website, sherryshowtv.com.
Does she know you're doing things about her show yet?
Not as of, not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Nope, I'm doing this because I actually like this lady and want her show to do well.
Well, she's been on for a minute. Somebody's watching.
Hmm. My only qualm with it, because I like what she's doing, I really do. But my
Hmm.
only qualm with it is like, coming from the Wendy show, where she was pretty much hot topics, and this and that.
Yeah.
Um, it's just her, like especially at the beginning of the show. That's the beginning of the show is when Wendy dedicated most of and that's usually like a 20 minute, from like an 18 and 20 minute time slot before the first commercial comes.
Hmm.
So Wendy was using that time to talk about hot topics. Sherry, she kind of uses that time to it's like it's barely any hot topics at all, if any. And she kind of uses that time slot to talk about things that she's done as a celebrity, like the parties and events that she's gone to, and it's cute for her. But I'm like, girl, where is the juice? I want to see the juice
Yeah, she's not doing things like Wendy did for sure.
at all, especially with her having like a lot of Wendy's staff. A lot of Wendy's staff went over to
The Sherry Show.
and did
Okay.
Suzanne. You remember that white lady that used to be over there?
Well, remember, I didn't really watch Wendy like that.
She's over there. Norman's over there. But I don't know if they are. I know they were over there. I don't know if they are still over there.
Hmm. Well, I mean, Sherry has a different format, even if they are there. Maybe she doesn't want to do that.
Yeah. And she's not gonna do, especially when it comes to hot topics. Like that was Wendy's, like Wendy purposely did not make friends in the industry so that way she can talk about them. Like Sherry,
Right.
she has a lot of friends in the industry, so she's not gonna do
Right. She brings her guests on and doesn't ask the same things that Wendy would ask.
Hello. But while we're waiting for more people to come in, I guess I can go ahead and get started on what she talked about in her show today. She looked really cute. She had on the cutest I don't know if that was red or orange, but she had on the cutest dress and
Hmm.
even cuter lavender colored shoes. So
Oh,
she started off the show by talking because some news actually broke right before she went on air. That Hoda Kotb, I don't know if you heard about her. She's going to be quitting the Today Show after doing it for 7 years.
oh, I
Yep, and
wonder what
remember
that
she came.
means for her co-host. I mean, she's on a lot of different segments, but with Jenna Bush.
Yeah, I don't think that show is affected. I didn't see anything about that show, her 10 o'clock hour with her and Jenna.
Hmm.
But I know the one that she's leaving with the one that comes on earlier than that, the one that she took over for Matt Lauer.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, she still may be on the Jenna show.
Uh huh. Yep.
Oh, okay. That's different. Okay.
So I
Interesting.
didn't see any, and then she's not going to be leaving that position until to the end of the year. So she's going to finish the year out, and then I think she's going to quit like January of 2025,
Yeah, yeah.
according to Sherry.
Well, she's probably getting up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, to be there and do all those early shows. I mean, those people get up early and to commute to the studio, and
Mm-hmm.
then she's on the air from what
All morning.
all morning through 10 o'clock with Jenna, and 4 or 5 hours. I'm sure she's tired of that.
And sometimes, like during that 10 o'clock, I do find myself watching, like especially when there's no new episodes of Sherry, or
Hmm.
when Wendy didn't have any new episodes, I will watch that 10 o'clock with back in the day, it was Hoda and Kathy Lee.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And boy, do I miss Hoda and Kathy Lee, honey, because Kathy Lee, all she was gonna do is drink wine and sing. I miss that so much. Jenna, she's okay. I don't hate her, but it's coming from Kathy Lee. I guess kind of like coming from Wendy to go to Sherry. It's kind of like
yeah.
coming from Kathy Lee to go to. so
Right. It's definitely more vanilla. I get it.
very much so.
Yeah, I don't watch them.
So it was a lot more fun when Kathy Lee was on there. I tell you that, and I think it had a lot to do with the wine. I don't
Yeah.
see Jenna really drinking much wine on there.
No. And Kathy Lee had a much longer tenure, as a host, and probably could get away with saying more things about what she knew or whatever.
Oh, absolutely. And Sherry went on to share about how she did a luncheon with the president. She shared a really nice picture of herself with um with President Biden and Vice President Harris.
Oh.
And then she talked about after that event, they had another event at the White House where it was some kind of a all white event
Mm-hmm.
where everybody was up in there dressed like Lisa Ray in all white.
Not Lisa Ray.
And then she said that Monica came out there to perform.
Mm-hmm.
But she was talking about Monica's outfit because she said Monica it was 85 degrees out there. Monica was out there wearing a fur coat. But when you see Monica, especially on stage, she gonna give you some kind of a gaudy fur, and a thigh high boot like she's Mary J. Blige. That's just what she does.
Well, and she's not the only one. I've noticed quite a few celebrities. I'm like, is it cold there, or are they just wearing these floor length coats because it's fashion?
Hmm.
I don't think it's really that cold anywhere.
It's not, and they definitely doing it for fashion, just like they be wearing glasses for fashion. And I saw somebody put on there say, "My culture is not a costume."
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Like what Cardi's outfit when she arrived in New where was the fashion week? New York? No,
No, that was in Paris.
in Paris. Like she had on this big fuzzy coat with boot. I'm like, is it cold in Paris? I don't
Child,
I don't really think like is it that cold? She looked good, but
child.
Just like, okay.
You know we got some Cardi T for later in the show, child. You know they was up all night carrying on.
Yeah, yeah. I hate when they just bring all their stuff out on social media like that. But hey, it is what it is.
Hmm.
I just keep it moving.
And Sherry also talked about the Golden Bachelor. She showed a little clip on there, and it has some. You know, it's no secret how I feel about older men. So it has. I seen some sights on there. I'm like, oh, okay, okay. Maybe I should be watching, but I'm not gonna watch. But there was some nice looking man. It was an older black man in there. Looked like he was in. Said he was like 62.
Hmm.
So that was a nice looking man. But they were pretty much talking about how in the house they all had to take. It was like four different guys had to take naps because one guy in the house was snoring so loud that they couldn't sleep at night.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
So
Man,
yeah, that was
I
pretty much
can't
what she
even.
talked.
Mm-mm. I've known someone who's snored like that, like ridiculously loud. I just don't see how people put up with that.
You know, I had an ex who snored really loud. It actually didn't bother me. I don't know. Maybe I got just got used to it, or it was one of them things that you just kind of tuned out.
Mm-mm. Maybe you did. My hearing is too sensitive. I'm too sensitive with hearing and being stimulated by too many sights and sounds. I could never tune that out. Never. The
Gotcha.
only way is we had a really, really big house and you sleep on one end and I sleep way on the other.
And
And
even then, that still might not help.
might not work. We had to have soundproof rooms or something because I couldn't do it. Mm-mm.
And then I shared Sherry's link. So if y'all click the link and you see one of the first things, the Real Good Time Getaway, where you can enter the win a free trip on the Sherry Show, and it's going to ask you for the word of today, the word of the day, and today's word is joy. So
Mm.
Joy. So
Okay.
go ahead and fill that out and see if you can win you a free trip on Sherry.
For Kamala. Kamala's word, joy.
Hmm.
Hi, Bernard. Welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea.
Yes, child, you know that's me, Sue.
Uh, well, I be damned.
Hey, my Sudanese queen.
What's up, girl?
Child, I was like, wait a minute, this was you the whole time. The whole
I,
time, girl.
I saw Misu tweet something about the daytime. I'm like, I was in there. I didn't see Misu. She in here. Okay, okay, girl.
So believe it or not, she actually did happen. I don't think you were here at the time, but she did get on the mic, and that's how I was able to find out it was her. I'm like, oh, hey
Oh,
girl.
oh, okay. I just know I was in here when she tweeted about something about being here, and I'm like, I didn't see her in there. How did I miss Misu? Okay.
Yep. That's my Sudanese queen. Thank you for being here, boo. So next on Sherry, they had Roy Wood Jr. came on there and he had a nice interview. And I really, really like him a lot. And he was promoting his new show that comes on CNN. Have I got news for you? And it pretty much looks like a oh, wait a minute, what's going on?
Who's removed? What's
That's
wrong?
what I'm trying to see. Camille, who is removed?
Oh,
Oh,
Kamala.
remove my comment. Okay. Girl, you scared the mess. I'm gonna say who up in here that's not supposed to be.
Who we need to fight?
Okay. But his Roy Wood Jr. his show it honestly looked just like a from the little clip that I saw it looked like a watered down version of the Daily Show.
Hmm.
But Yeah, I'll check it out. I ain't opposed. I like him as a comedian. I liked him when he was on the Daily Show, and I actually had a chance to meet him at that same event that I met John Murray. Roy Wood Jr. was there, and I was like, "Hey," I told him I'm such a big fan, and I told him I was like, "Now you should have got that job hosting the Daily Show, right?" And he laughed, and he was like, pretty much saying, I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, "I ain't really want that job anyway. I had to get up out of there because they was crazy."
Who's doing it now? I know for a minute they had Charlemagne doing it. Is he still doing it?
He's not, no, and even at one point they even brought back John Stewart. So I
Oh,
don't know who's doing it permanently now. I have no idea.
yeah. I tuned in one night and saw Charlemagne. I'm like, ain't no way.
Yeah, he's just as much as I like him. Oh, okay. So John Stewart is 100% back. So he's the permanent host. Okay. Well, that
Uh,
answers our question.
yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
think Charlemagne is really good for Breakfast Club, but something like the Daily Show.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
No, he didn't fit.
Mm-mm.
Thank God they got him up out of there.
Now, are y'all familiar with thumbs up for the listeners or thumbs down? Are y'all familiar with cornhole? A game called cornhole?
Is that where you throw the beanbags through the little platform with the hole in it? It's,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
oh, okay.
So you know that they actually have professional cornhole.
What?
And there was a Sherry had on her show today a girl named Cheyenne Bubenheim. I think that's how you say her last name, Cheyenne Bubenheim. But she's one of the what she's like because of course cornhole is a male dominated sport. So she
Mm-hmm.
was one of the first girls to play it and play it really well and play it professionally.
Oh,
So I just thought that was pretty interesting.
they have a professional puzzle put together, like those big puzzles. Like whoever puts together the puzzle the fastest, a tournament.
What?
Hmm. I saw that on Twitter. Some girl won it.
Baby, the way I would lose, because it takes me a whole decade to put together a jigsaw puzzle.
Not the
Please.
decade.
A decade, at least a minimum of 10 years.
Oh, it's like pictures of nature scenes. Nothing too easy you can guess.
Hmm.
Yeah, had quite a few people there too. I guess it's a big thing. I never knew. I'm like, really?
And the last thing I have for y'all about the Share Show is actually a treat. So I was hoping that they would put this on their YouTube page, and they did not disappoint. It was there available for me to show y'all. So it's about a little bit over 6 minutes, and Sherry had a woman named uh Villalona, Bernarda Villalona. She was a former prosecutor, and she's a criminal defense attorney. She came in to give her take and pretty much explaining the whole Diddy legal drama.
Mm-hmm.
And I love when they do that because Wendy Williams used to do that. She used to have an attorney, Medwin Charles. They used to come on her show all the time and kind of pretty much break legal things down and talk about it in layman's terms, so that way the regular bitches like you and I,
Mm-hmm.
we we understand what's going on. So that's what this woman she was able to do. So we're gonna watch it together. I might pause it like in the middle just to kind of break the monotony or whatever.
Okay.
But give me one sec. But we in for a treat. This is actually I love the way she explained it.
Hello, Hammock. Welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea.
Yes. Hey, boo. Thank you for joining. I always appreciate your support. So let me share my screen. Happy, I apologize in advance. I do not have YouTube Premium, so it is possible you may see an ad.
On capability that doesn't compromise. A hardworking EV with.
All right, y'all. One of the biggest stories over the last week that I have not had a chance to talk about involves hip hop star Sean Diddy Combs. There's so many allegations and legal mumbo jumbo from the release indictment. I thought it would be best to have an expert following the case to break it all down. Would you please welcome former prosecutor and criminal defense attorney, Bernarda Villalona. Hi, Bernarda.
Hi.
So you got to help us understand. It's so much going around. What exactly is Diddy being charged with?
Exactly. So this case is about money, power, respect, sex, drugs, and violence. It's important to remember that Sean Diddy Combs is presumed innocent, and we have to separate the civil allegations as well as the court of public opinion to what the criminal case is all about. So Sean Combs was arrested last week and charged on 3 federal counts: racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation with the intent to include engage in prostitution. So pretty much what they're saying is that Sean Diddy Combs used his enterprise, made a criminal enterprise to engage in these acts of sex trafficking, bribery, arson, kidnapping, a whole bunch of allegations that he used in his enterprise, and he had his people help him out to complete these acts. And again, he is presumed innocent.
Okay, wow. So it's so many rumors going around, Bernarda, about allegedly about other celebrities who are involved. People are talking about there's alleged tapes going around, and there may be more arrests. So what can you say about that?
So what we do know is that back earlier in this year, in March, that the feds executed a search warrant in Florida as well as in Los Angeles, in both of his homes. And when they executed that search warrant, they recovered surveillance videos, they recovered cell phones, they recovered computers, electronic devices, as well as guns, and of course the baby oil. And all of this.
I've been waiting for baby oil to go back in stock, but
most importantly, what people need to remember is that, look, the feds are going through all of this surveillance footage, and they are conducting their investigation, and based on that, they have seen a lot. So in terms of people talking, shut your mouth. You do not know what the feds know. You don't know if you are in those videos. You don't know whether you are a part of these criminal acts. So I would suggest shut it up.
I am seeing all over the internet, a whole lot of people are talking about what they saw at the party, you know, if they worked for him.
Making themselves witnesses.
So those people who keep talking about what's going on, what they saw, and what they're now witnesses?
It's possible, because I was a former prosecutor. So if I were a prosecutor on this case, so you said you were at the party, hold up. Let me subpoena you and let me interview you and see exactly what you saw.
Oh, wow.
So that.
Okay, so did y'all hear that? That's what the part that I thought was really interesting. She was pretty much saying how all these people that's coming out, like that bodyguard, other people who sat there, they pretty much just voluntarily making themselves witnesses.
They are. They really are.
Yep, and Happy made a good point. Wow, exactly. Why people are silent? They're not trying to get involved with that, and then you have to go in court and then say some things on record and then possibly implicate yourself.
What's wild is how they're saying that maybe the baby oil wasn't just baby oil, like there was drugs in it. Why he had so many bottles of it, it was, spiked.
When they subpoena you, does the government pay for your trip? That is a really good question, Happy.
I bet they don't.
Right.
Not unless you agree to testify. They offer you a deal, maybe they will. But if they just subpoena you and you don't have a deal with them, I bet they don't.
All right, let's get back to the rest of the video.
That's why it's important. Look, get a criminal defense attorney, an experienced criminal defense attorney, and just don't say anything. No one's asking you.
Stop talking. Okay. Now, you were at Diddy's hearing.
Yeah.
You were right there at Diddy's hearing. And I know when I saw his kids walk to the courtroom and out, my heart broke for the kids. And I assume that Diddy has a trust and credit cards for the kids to take care of them. And he may even have a house in his mother's name. So can that all be taken away?
Look, it broke my heart when I was there last week, because when Sean Combs came out, he put his hand over his heart and he's looking at his kids like, look, I'm here. I'm here. You're carrying me through this. So in terms of what can happen to his fortune, it could be that this billionaire, if he is found guilty, there's a forfeiture clause in that indictment that they will take anything that was used that was involved in this criminality. So that mansion, that possibly where these freak offs actually took place in, can be gone. His money could be gone. Anything that was used in this criminal activity, he could end up losing. And that can affect the kids too, because if he used some of it and try to put it in his kid's name to try to hide some of this, then the government can go after that as
And
well.
take that as well. Wow. Okay, so now, as of now, Diddy is only facing criminal charges, but a judge denied the bails. Do you think that was the right decision?
Look, Diddy used to spit bars and now he's behind bars.
Well,
I respect Judge Carter's decision, yes,
Okay.
but I disagree with it. Look, Sean Combs was willing to put up $50 million house. He was willing to give up his kid's passport, cell phones, security, no internet, and all these other parameters. The purpose of securing someone to appear at a next court appearance is pretty much to secure that they appear at a next court appearance. However, the judge was concerned that he was a danger to the community, that he would intimidate witnesses, he would tamper with witnesses, and in a hand said that nothing that I put before any pretrial services is going to guarantee the community's safety. But it's sad because, look, he hasn't been convicted of a crime, and now he's technically serving a sentence without even being tried.
Oh, wow. But they could be scared that he could try to get away even with that power and you know, I'm not a lawyer, you are, but it was just announced that Diddy will testify. He will testify in a criminal case. So if this goes to trial and he's testifying, is he looking at jail time?
Look, if he's found guilty, there's a mandatory minimum where he faces at least 15 years up to life if he is found guilty. So in terms of Sean Combs testifying, first off, it's too early on to be announcing you're testifying. I mean, we don't even have a trial date yet. It's the prerogative of the defendant, and this being Sean Combs, to make that determination as to whether he is going to testify, but there is no requirement in criminal law that a defendant must testify or prove his innocence. It is up to the prosecution who brought these charges to prove his guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
Okay. It's so much more. It's clearly so much more that comes with this case, and I'm sure it's going to be more stuff happening every day. So, Bernarda, I just want to thank you for being here and explaining, giving us insight. Wow.
We're gonna have a good time.
Now, wasn't that interesting?
It was.
I love how she broke that down.
She made an interesting point that even in spite of everything he agreed to give up, that essentially, you know, he's being held in prison without being tried. I mean, they let Sam Friedman out, and he had resources. His parents got money. He had money. They let him be on house arrest. He messed that up. But, you know, she made a good point.
Havoc said, I'm not interested unless they lock his freaky ass. But yeah, and then the part where she said that she actually disagreed with the judge's decision to deny his bond.
Right.
I was like, oh wow. But then you realize like even though I like her, because she worked on both sides. She did prosecuting and she was a defense attorney. So, but that sounded very defense attorney of her to say, oh, I mean, he said that he's going to give up $50 million and not have any internet access. Spoken just like a true defense attorney. I know that's right.
Well, I mean, it does give you another side to it.
Yep.
They've, I don't know. It seems a little unfair, but I'm not mad he's in jail. I mean, he's done a lot of dirt, but I see her point.
Yep. So I hope she does more of that. Like I hope that girl comes back to talk about. Like I just love when they do, especially when they bring black attorneys who speak to us like who speak like we speak.
Right.
I love to see it. Now continue. So we talking about what was on Sherry's show, but we're gonna continue with a little bit of Diddy news. So I'm sharing a link with TMZ. So they were talking. Remember how they were talking about the thousand bottles of baby oil,
Yeah, his
and how
lawyer.
he's his lawyer
Cause
came out and said, "Oh, well, he buys in bulk and everything." Well, Costco came out and said, "Oh, well, if he was buying it in bulk, he wasn't doing it here because we don't sell baby oil."
yeah, there's a
It says a
Costco right down
spokesperson
the
for
street.
Costco tells TMZ.
Oh my god!
Exactly. It said none of the company's U.S. locations carry baby oil, even though Diddy's
Wow.
attorney, Mark, told us that the rap mogul might have bought the item in bulk at the members only warehouse retailer.
Yeah, he did mention
So
them
they was like,
specifically.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
And
Costco say, hold up, hold up.
so
Oh my
it
god!
says, and the proof is that I'm reading the TMZ article. It says the proof is in the pudding, so to speak. As a quick search of the store site shows that there's nothing akin to baby oil offered at Costco. There is, however, hair and cleansing gel sold for babies, but it'll be a stretch to confuse that with baby oil.
Right.
And TMZ must have thought of what you said as well because they said for good measure, we also took a peek at the Sam's Club website because it's entirely possible to mix up the two retailers.
Yeah,
Yet,
yeah.
like Costco, there's no baby oil for sale there either.
Man, look here. You know, you really, your high powered lawyer said that you paying probably, oh my God. I'd be like, how much I'm paying you?
Child.
And you don't even know. Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah, he put his foot in his mouth on that one.
So I just thought that was a little funny.
It was. It was.
Now we ain't gonna spend too much time on this, especially because we talked about it. I can't remember if it was Monday's show or Tuesday's show, but I mentioned that he was in the middle of Eric Adams being investigated. He they mentioned five other countries that he may have taken bribes from.
Oh,
So he was indicted this morning, and I'm sharing a link. Well, oh, give me 1 second.
so it's not just Turkey.
It's not just Turkey. Israel, Qatar. Who else? I actually named the five countries, but I just cannot remember them right now for the life of me. So
Mm-hmm.
my apologies.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to read out what it says. So it was a 57-page indictment. I only had a chance to read like two of the pages. What I read in those two pages already was a mess, and it pretty much alleged that he in the process of his getting his donations for his campaign, New York has a type of program to where they match donations from people to kind of give New Yorkers more of a voice when it comes to who they voting for. So he took Eric in the first page. It said he took funds from officials, like from Turkish officials and stuff like that, under the guise of regular donations, and then those donations were matched, and then he was able to pretty much fraud the city out of. Did they say $10 million? It was quite it was a lot of money. So and I'm trying to so I can show y'all exactly what his behind was. Okay. So his 5 counts where he was given 5 counts. If this thing don't get out of my way, I cannot stand a paywall, child. Move. Always trying to get somebody. No, I'm not gonna create no darn password. Move. Oh, I can't stand it. Matter of fact, let me try to look at it on my phone. I ain't got that. Yeah. It's too much.
Well, it is Business Insider. I think you have to have an account to read it.
Ugh, they so annoying.
He said he didn't do it. Hey, Marcia.
He, Hi, Marcia. He's claiming his innocence. And he even told in his press conference earlier today, he was like, I'm urging New Yorkers to, wait till you hear our side of the story, wait till you hear our defense, and this, and that. So,
Mm.
and I'm logging into this thing. I guess I'm putting it in. I'm logging in through Facebook, so I won't have to create an account on this darn site, so I can tell y'all what the not a steal in my way.
I'm telling you, it's Business Insider. You can't read that for free.
Yeah, but it was letting me log in through Facebook, and okay, yeah, forget it. So anyway, pretty much I was trying to so I can read to y'all exactly what he was charged, and I guess I was able to read it when I was looking at my news through my Google News app. It let me read it
Yeah,
on there.
it might not have been from Business Insider though.
Yep.
It might have been another news site because I know this particular one. I think you need a sub to read it.
I mean, none of the people face looked pleasing at the news conference. I mean, everybody was just like, get me out of here. Why am I up here? I
What you
didn't
say?
do this.
They didn't look pleasing. They
They
looked
all looked like
happy.
they wanted to hide.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
if
One
Oh,
white guy
okay.
kept getting. Uh,
I found a workaround.
okay.
So, okay, so what his charges were, so he got 5 counts. So the first count was conspiracy to commit wire fraud, federal program bribery, and to receive campaign contributions from foreign nationals. He was got a count of wire fraud, 2 counts of solicitation of a contribution by a foreign national, and lastly bribery.
Mm.
So he just out here just taking, yes, girl. He just out here taking money because I even remember reading that story about what he did, what he pretty much forced the uh the New York Fire Department to approve and cut corners so that way this building can get approved for Turkish leaders. So now we know that that building is used for like for Turkish business, I guess.
Mm.
But yeah, he was bribed and they found it. They said he didn't just receive gifts, he was showered in gifts from these nationals, these foreign
that
nationals, honey.
is sad. How you gonna put out the fire department to cut for foreign nationals when these are the firefighters that, like, you know, I tell you, man, the greed of money. I'm telling you, they're
Hmm.
coming after everybody.
And
So
Happy asked the good question: was this the mayor who gave Diddy the keys to the city? Yes, it is. The
yeah.
very same.
So I wonder if this is all tied. Remember, two fire chiefs got um, what uh, feds coming after them, and a few other people. Like I wonder if that's all tied together. Fire chief driving Bentleys and Ferraris, and
He was driving a Bentley too.
one of them was driving a Bentley. Girl,
Hmm.
now you know.
See, that's the problem with these people when they be getting all this money before they just stick to the Honda Civic. And you know what I'm saying?
Well,
They
they
gotta show what they got.
nice
Yeah,
cars, but a Bentley.
Wait, so
child.
she went in there voluntary to talk to the FBI without no attorney. Then she went in the bathroom to try to delete the texts. Don't she think
Wasn't that
before the
crazy?
FBI have you come in? Don't you know they already got the information?
And they can look
Hello,
at your phone and tell you to have that stuff, even if you delete it. I mean, for real,
she
not playing.
she look here. She should have did what's that show? Um, with the guys who are dancing and what's his name came in the room and grabbed the guy's phone and threw it on the ground. What's that guy's name? Jesus
That sounds
Christ!
familiar.
Yeah, it's the movie with the guy that came in. Stella got her groove. What's his name?
Tay Diggs.
Tay Diggs was in there. Howard, something Howard was in it, and he was in the room.
You
what
talk
is
about the best man, the
the
series.
best. Yes, that's what somebody should have did was take her phone and throw it on the floor and mash it up. These people don't realize that
Well,
when
speaking of phones and throwing them, I got a story about Naomi Campbell.
Mm-mm.
How about her behind cannot
Ooh.
she was actually banned from being a charity trustee after a watchdog investigation uncovered a widespread evidence of financial misconduct at the poverty relief charity that she founded.
Wow.
It says they allege that the charity inappropriately spent tens of thousands of pounds on luxury hotel rooms, flights, spa treatments, personal security, and cigarettes for Naomi Campbell.
Not Naomi scamming.
And I'm like, why they had to put her cigarettes in there? Like, why we need to know that?
Oh
not
my
the
God.
cigarettes.
Because she probably smoking a European brand that costs more than regular cigarettes. I'm betting.
Touche. Yep.
Uh-huh.
But baby, the egregious thing about this is that they found that over a 5 year period from starting in 2016, Fashion for Relief, that's what she found. Fashion for Relief raised just under 4.8 million pounds from a series of fashion shows, but only paid out 389,000 in grants to partner charities once the cost of events and other expenses were accounted for. So
Mm.
she didn't even give them 10% of them earnings.
Wow. Which is what a lot of charities do. She's not the only one, but yeah, that's really egregious.
She's not, but she the only one who got caught.
Wow.
So
They
yeah, so
got
she can't
busted.
be
Yeah,
she got banned for 5 years.
you got what?
Banned. She can't be a part of it for 5 years.
Did they make her pay the money back?
Oh, I know that it didn't say anything in the article about that.
I hope she got it. I hope she gets to pay the money back. And did you cover anything about that boy?
Which boy?
But
Offset.
no, the one, his girlfriend who got 2 years.
Oh, no, we didn't talk about him or her.
The crypto guy and his girlfriend.
Oh no, no. Mm-mm.
Um, she only got 2 years and she had to give back 11 billion.
Yep.
At least she got to give back the
I
money.
saw we covered that. When was that? I think it may have been last week when we covered that her attorneys were looking for leniency. But no, we didn't talk about her after she got sentenced.
So I heard Diddy is in the same place that Sam is in.
He is indeed in the same unit, so they probably see each other in passing.
They're probably trying to cook something up right now.
Yeah, probably.
They ain't cooking up
Boy,
nothing but some Swedish
2024 is the
meatballs.
year. Oh, I'm sorry, Jermaine. Go ahead.
See, they're not cooking up nothing but some Swedish meatballs.
Okay.
They ain't cooking up nothing in the feds, honey.
Look here. 2024 is the year for rich people going to jail.
Let's
Good.
go. I'm with it. So which one y'all want to talk about next? Y'all want to talk about Cardi and Offset, or do y'all want to kind of save that until later?
Well, what's the other choice?
Let's see. The other choices we have is British Williams. Well, her ex. Let's see. We got Issa Rae and Amanda. Hell, let's just go ahead and get Cardi B and Offset out the way. I really don't even like them like that. But I said, you know what? A lot of people wanted to hear this news, so let's just go ahead and talk about it. So let me see. Let me put up the article. I'm gonna share a TMZ article. We can watch a little bit of the clip, and I'm glad we're gonna watch it on TMZ because TMZ actually was able to bleep it out. Cause woo, that girl got a mouth like a sailor. I agree. I agree, Hammock. He must got a dang yang full of gold, honey, because the way she be acting, Ooh, girl. So TMZ reported Cardi B and Offset aired their dirty laundry on Instagram Live. So it started last night. Cardi B went on live. She was pretty much talking about like one thing led to another. Offset gonna comment on her on while the thing was going on the live. What do you say? He said, "You fucked the baby. You fucked with a baby inside. Tell the truth." So Cardi B, being the petty Libra that she is, she's gonna tweet and did with about six exclamation points. So then it continued with a while I get these photos for y'all. Marcia, you got your hand raised? I guess I would take that as a no. So I'm sharing four screenshots that were caught during this whole exchange. Get the other one. And lastly, okay, so y'all can see now starting at slide number 7, we're gonna go through these slides together. So you see Offset commented, everybody can see I don't want you. It's okay. I'm not talking about this no more. All love. You will be calling me after a couple of months. You my baby mama. I won. So this comment actually like caused a lot of discourse on Twitter, and it pretty much opened the eyes of a lot of people who pretty much say like, because a lot of girls have been saying this for a long time, but they say men will intentionally try to trap women with babies. And they said that, this comment kind of proves that they be out here doing it.
Yep.
So like, you my baby mama, I won. What is this a competition? Uh, Not he's a stereotypical slur.
Well, they broke up, remember? And then I guess she let him come back, and they had sex, and she got pregnant again, and then right after, like, broke up. They weren't even back
Hmm.
together that long. Yeah, I think it's a thing.
Yep.
But a lot of, I mean, he can afford to take care of his children. A lot of men that do this don't want to be financially responsible. They just want access to the mama.
That is, you are absolutely right. And you see how slide 8, if y'all see the other screenshot where he gonna comment on another, the fact that you keep going shows you hurt. Leave, I guess he meant to say leave me alone, but he was just so excited he just couldn't type the words out correctly. But he said, you hurt, leave alone. Don't you got a nigga? Ain't we divorced?
Mm.
So you see slide number 9. So that's when Cardi commented, laughing my ass off, coming from the same one that had to DM me all weekend, crashing out because he was blocked, hurt because I was going to Paris. He right, it will be the last time talking about his lame ass. And then the last screenshot y'all see, because you remember Carter was trying to play in her face, talking about, oh, you still want me? She gonna share a screenshot of their text. And do y'all see the last question? The
Uh,
last thing they sent her.
mm-hmm. Still want that.
Dude said, "Can I jack off with you over the phone?" Like now, if this is not, this just kind of proved to me that straight people can be so vanilla. Like I remember saying something like this when I was in high school. Like, are you kidding me? But whatever. Ooh, ooh, not horrid. But real quickly, we're gonna say it's like a minute long. We're gonna watch the video together with what started this whole thing. Let me share my screen.
TMZ app, your source for the biggest celebrity and entertainment news in the palm of your hand. Get 24/7 access to the exclusive news, pics, and video only TMZ can provide. Download the TMZ app today.
I'm trying to find. I've been cuffed up too long. Let me remind. Yo, when I tell you, Nick, the narcissism is all time high. And you know what's so crazy? I really be feeling like when people be saying like narcissist, narcissist, and everything, I be like, do y'all even know what that word mean? But now I really do see what's a fucking narcissist. You know what's so crazy? I find it so crazy, right? You know what I find so crazy? That a think that they could just buy a bitch. You know what I'm saying? I love me shit, but you can buy me no more, motherfucker. And it's so crazy that a think that that's enough. It's not enough, honey. It's just not enough. And you know what's so funny too? I find it funny that think that they could fuck on anything. But when I start talking to you want to threaten me with taking shit that I fucking work my ass off for. You want to play those games with me? We're going to play them games too. We're going to play them games too. Since you want to fucking threaten me, talking about you want to take my shit? You want to take my shit because I'm moving on? Move on. Move on. Why can't you move on? Why can't you move on? It's no fun when mama got the gun, right? It's no fun when I'm slanging. Thank you for my kids, though. All three of them. I don't regret none of them. But I regret you. I don't regret my kids. You're good, daddy. You all right. I don't regret them. Not none of them. Not none of them. But fuck you. I regret you. I'm too good for you. I always been too good for you. You know I'm too good for you.
Now, isn't that a mess? A hot mess.
It
Now I'm
really,
gonna do a poll because I.
she may not have
Oh,
even
go
met
ahead, Tilly.
someone else. She might have just said that to piss him off. We don't really know. She could have been lying. Because who was it supposed to be? Like, he ain't got no receipts. He just
Mm-hmm.
accused her. We don't know that that's true. But people big up in her, like, yeah, yeah, cheat back, all that stuff. We don't know that she did it. That's all I got to
We
say.
do not. But one thing I want to know from y'all, I just shared a poll, and I want y'all to do answer that poll for me real quick. Do you think Cardi B and Offset will get back together after this? And type in your answer and submit your response.
uh, yeah.
So it's looking like the majority of the room is voting yes. So I think we all share the same because we've seen this movie before.
Yes, we have.
Well, good luck with them. That's all I got to say about that. That's why I try to stay out of straight people business, honey, but it be so juicy.
And it's cheaper to keep her. He acting like he won, but the child support on 3 children, baby.
Hmm.
You really want to go there?
So I don't think this link is going to share. So for this next story, so I'm gonna share my screen because I'm looking at what the URL looks like, and with my past experiences, it's kind of like links that look like this don't usually share right. But this is the story that I was kind of teasing earlier. Basketball wives star ex-boyfriend admits to fraud. So now he's going down. Y'all remember he's the reason that British Williams, the girl who got arrested back in or who was sentenced back in January and got in trouble for fraud with them PPP loans. His behind Lorenzo Gordon is now in the same kind of trouble. So it says investigators say that Lorenzo Gordon's application contained false information about three companies: Fitness LLC, Elite 50 Basketball Training LLC, and Elite Health and Fitness Company. They received around 107,000 in PPP loans and 165,700 in EIDL loans and advances. So he's scheduled to be sentenced in January 9th of next year, and he faces up to 10 years in prison and $250,000 in fines. So we know British, she was sentenced to 4 years in prison for those fraud-related felonies. Stupid, stupid,
Need to be on
stupid,
for my man. That's because
stupid.
you know how many women in prison because of men.
Mm-hmm. Stupid. So that's that on that. Kind of love talking about Dave Grohl ever since we found out he done had that outside baby, the lead singer of the Foo Fighters. So it turns out, girl, he has retained a divorce attorney. He suspects that his wife is going to be filing for divorce. And if they do, you see In Touch Weekly reported, if they do get a divorce, she is presumed to be very rich. If that were to happen, so if that leads me to believe that maybe they don't have a prenup. I mean, what they've been married for 21 years already, so it's possible that they do not.
Well, if they did, it probably didn't last 21 years. The prenup usually is for the first few years, I thought.
Oh, see, don't give me the line, girl. I don't ever plan on getting married. And yes, happy that is Dave Grohl and his nasty self, just nasty, just out here slinging it, hun, slinging it, nasty. And I know who's probably hurt the most by it is them the youngest daughter. She only 10 years old, and now she just found out she got a she was being the youngest for 10 whole years. Now she found out she got a whole little sister she got to share stuff with, or brother. I don't know if the baby's a boy or girl. So that's that one. That what else I got for y'all?
Yeah, he was probably good till he made a baby.
Hmm. Well, that was really what left on what Wendy Williams, honey, when she because it's honey, her husband has been cheating on her for when I say years on years on years, and I'll never forget where when I first moved to New York in 2008, there was a story that broke that Kelvin was sleeping around with one of the interns, and they had a whole sex tape. He had a sex tape with that intern. That sex tape done pretty much went viral. Everybody, just about everybody in New York done seen it. And Wendy knew that man has been cheating for probably since Cash Money took over for the 99 and 2000. But Wendy's thing always was like, I know he cheating, but as long as you cheat and don't have no babies or don't bring me any STIs, then we good. He go and have a baby, and she get a divorce. So she was serious about that. She was serious about that, honey. So, men, cis hetero men, what we gonna do with them? Now, Nene, very rich bitch, Leaf is about to get her account garnished. Her checking account is about to be garnished, honey, for let me see the amount, for close to $25,000. So it said that MPG Sugarloaf filed a suit against Nene in August of 2023. The company claimed to have leased a commercial property to Nene, who used it to open up her swag boutique in 2017. The boutique closed for a period of time during the pandemic, and it reopened for a few months before ultimately shutting down for good in 2022. The landlord said that the reality star failed to pay $22,000 in rent charges when she vacated. Nene actually tweeted that she said on social media that she's not responsible for this debt. She claimed that her late husband, Greg Leaks, signed the lease in question. Sorry, leaks and lease got me tongue twisted. She said, Greg signed the lease, not me. He ain't here. Greg died in September of 2021. And let's see. It says Nene was served with the legal papers outside of her $1 million home in Atlanta, but never responded to the accusations in court. In November of 2023, a default judgment was entered against Nene in the amount of $25,631. And following the entry of the judgment, the landlord fired off a series of summons to financial institutions where they believe Nene may hold money. Truist Bank is one of them. So they coming for their money, honey. Nene ain't gonna be able to do nothing about it.
How's she gonna not respond? Did she not take that seriously?
That's what I'm thinking. You got a whole summons telling you to bring your behind the court. You don't go, and you just ignore everything. I guess she plan on ignoring it till it quote unquote goes away. But no, they said, how does it work when someone in the lease dies? That's a good question, Happen. I don't know. Maybe we need to get a legal analyst, like a former prosecutor or a criminal defense attorney up in here so they can explain it to us. That is
Well,
a good question.
I think the fact that it was Nene's business occupying the lease was one thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't Greg's business.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the defining point right there.
Yeah. So I'm gonna follow the story to see what happens. I know we not gonna hear the last about this, honey. They coming into her account taking her money. Oh, that's Nene gonna read, honey. Now, are y'all familiar? I know y'all watch sports ball sometimes. Are y'all familiar with Carl Anthony Towns?
I don't know who that is.
Well, anyway, he and Jordan Woods. I know y'all know who Jordan Woods is, but
Right.
they just moved into their $14 million home, child.
Hmm.
And I was reading about this earlier. I just had to show. I just had to tell y'all what it says. This house has 7 bedrooms, 17 bathrooms. It's 11,000 square feet, and it sits on more than 2 acres of land. It says the property also comes with a 2 bedroom guest house, a 7,200 square foot spa, sports gym, entertainment pavilion, a large barn with space for 7 horses, and garages to accommodate 6 cars. That's just a lot of house for no reason. Like, hey, that's a lot of fabuloso. Exactly.
Well, why you need 17 bathrooms? Not 10,
Chat.
not 7, but 17. Maybe altogether
17
in
bathrooms,
apartment.
child.
I don't know.
And the craziest thing about this story is not even the house. The craziest thing is her former friend, because I don't even know if they're friends anymore, but her former friend, Kylie Jenner, she bought a house in the same neighborhood for $15 million back in 2020. And it's literally a minute away from this house that Jordan just moved in. But the gagger is Kylie hasn't even moved into that house yet. It says Kylie hasn't quite moved into her place yet, we're told. But when she does, the two will just be steps away from hanging out. How you buy that house in 2020 and you ain't even moving it yet? What is going on for $15 million?
Good question.
What is Jordan Wood's skill? Being fabulous. That's all I can say, honey. And remember, she tried to do a little something on the Mad Singer. She didn't sound bad. I mean, she didn't sound that great either, but she didn't sound bad.
And she doesn't do anything that I know of. She's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's a beautiful girl.
Yep.
That's all it takes sometimes.
Chill said, great gowns, beautiful gowns.
Beautiful gals. I mean,
Willard, What I miss, Auntie?
Quite a bit, girl. And
Had
we about
to,
to go to the next. I don't know. Oh, I don't think this is
Nene.
showing up right. But hey, I think y'all can probably still click the link.
Nene Lee's bank account garnished over what?
Over 20, almost $25,000, girl, because she didn't want to
For,
pay rent.
For her clothing boutique.
oh,
She
everybody
claimed,
trying to sell clothes.
well, they
Mm,
closed down, but she claimed Greg signed the lease. She didn't, but it was her business occupying the space. And the landlord subpoenaed her, and she didn't show up, so she got a default judgment of
mm-hmm.
2K that she owed.
Offset. Ooh, and Carby. Do you think Offset and Carby will be back together after this? What happened?
Girl, we got to do a fast
Face,
forward for you.
face, baby ass, please. Oh Lord, I'm telling you, Auntie, only you alone.
Yeah. Okay, I need to practice using this custom link a little bit more happy.
Which custom? Oh, okay.
What is it about?
But for now, we just gonna because I know somebody, I ain't gonna say no names, but I know somebody who don't even care about this story in the first place. But
Will.
Janet Jackson is getting a little right. She's getting a little bit of positive publicity
Mm.
because Eve recalls Janet Jackson saving her life after a suspected drink spiking.
Oh yeah.
So why I wanted to share this story because I thought it was so hilarious. Y'all know Eve just came out with a memoir, and
Mm-hmm.
in one of the excerpts she talk about, she said it says Eve recalls Janet as well as Missy Elliott coming to her aid after she suspected that her drink had been tampered with at a party following the MTV Video Music Awards in 2007. E says, and I quote, it says, Missy came in to check on me, but I was just unable to collect myself. Then who walks in? Janet Jackson. I had never met her before. And so her first introduction of me was seeing me hysterical. None of that mattered to Janet. She actually just sprang into action and told people to get aspirin, water, hot sauce, and a piece of white bread. The concoction knocked me out. The concoction knocked me right out of my hysteria. So basically, Janet Jackson saved my life. I'm like, who thinks of that? Who said get some aspirin water, some hot sauce, and a piece of white bread?
Oh, that
Hot
sounds like
sauce and white bread.
a old mama recipe there.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Jesus. Might as well say got me a V8.
Well, they don't call her mother for no reason. So clearly,
Well, I
that was
mean,
mother behavior.
if it worked.
Mm. Jermaine, I got a question.
What's your question, ma'am?
When did we start substituting hand sanitizer as washing your hands? When
Ugh.
did that become universal?
Girl, because that's what the CDC keep recommending instead of masks is hand
Oh,
sanitizer at every station.
okay. Because I
Mm.
told that girl, don't touch me.
I
You
mean,
went into
it's
that
okay.
room.
Mm,
You went into that room and you squeeze. And then you went into that room and squeeze. And you went into that room and squeeze. And I ain't see you put your hand underneath name one sink with some soap and water. Don't touch me.
Yeah.
yeah, you're still supposed to wash your hands.
You're supposed to
Is
wash
this
your hands.
person European?
No, she
Oh.
she is of my descent. Well, not Caribbean, but my. Mm,
Oh.
she a Yankee.
She's skin folk, not kin folk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I ain't kinfolk. Yeah. Every time you go in a room, you're on gloves or whatever the door says. The caution on the door, whatever. You follow the universal precaution with the caution. But universal precaution every time you go in a room, you wash your hand before you touch the patient. Put your gloves on. Take your gloves.
Yeah, I wash my hands
And the
and then
last story I
use.
wanted to
Who that Olympic forgot to scan.
This was actually a
Yeah.
really, really sad story, and I almost felt sorry for this lady, but I don't.
Mm.
When it comes to white people, I hate it happened to them, but I don't really feel no ways tired when bad things happen to her. But this lady here, I was like, oh, that was kind of messed up. And
Is
basically,
she
what happened? She
named?
was using one of them Walmart.
Okay, go ahead.
So basically, she was at now. Her name. It looks like, and I'm sure I'm gonna butcher her last name, but it looks like her name is Megan Petapisi. But she was in Walmart using the self checkout. She scanned. She paid $176 worth of groceries, but she forgot to scan two items. So she forgot to scan a ham and some asparagus. She was actually arrested because I guess the machine alerted Walmart security with it. So they arrested her, and while she was arrested, they ended up also finding disposable vapes and what did it say?
The what?
Two unopened disposable vapes. You know those vape smoking
Oh,
things.
vape, the vape. Oh,
It's it.
she had the. Ooh,
Yep,
what
and it
was her
says as
vape?
well as two unopened blister packs containing the anti-nausea medication Zofran. So they charged her for possession of marijuana and a controlled substance.
Huh?
Huh?
hmm It's just
Oh, the
one thing.
vapes
So all because
didn't come from the store.
yep,
She just had those on her.
exactly, yep.
Oh,
So wait, those are illegal in her state?
I guess
Though
so.
they kind of illegal almost everywhere, believe because when it comes to vapes, you do not when those smoking oil pens, you do not want to get caught with them, honey.
The smoking
Mm-mm.
oil pens, you're not allowed to smoke them?
You allowed to smoke 'em, girl, but if you get caught with them, you can
It's
really
different from
because
getting caught with just flour
yep,
in
What you
places
said?
that's legal.
What you said, Jeremy?
It's different than getting caught with just weed in places that's legal. I guess I don't know why. Where what did you say where she was?
it doesn't.
Because both
Let
T
me
and I mean, you got nurses walking around the hospital with them.
yep.
No, the ones that have marijuana in them, not just regular vapes.
The ones that got marijuana in them.
Yeah, they have vapes that have marijuana in them.
I know. That's the one I'm talking about.
They walking around with that.
Yeah.
They better be careful because they end up losing her job. They job like this lady. She lost her
Well,
job. She was some kind of a coach somewhere. Let me. I was trying to skim through it to see where.
look here. A lot of people nowadays, doctors, a lot of people doing something. Okay. Right now, I know somebody who's a functioning alcoholic. They get up, they go to work, they do their job, and they pay the bill. They're just an alcoholic. Everybody got a story, Auntie. Everybody go through something. I mean,
hmm
Will walk in the heat, 200 degree. Okay, he walk in the heat, 200 degree. Okay, something wrong with him, but we still love him.
You know what? You know what?
Okay,
We don't. I'm, I'm gonna. This is a recorded line. I'll get you later.
I know. I'm waiting for it. Okay,
Hold on to your wig. Hold on to your wig.
I'm holding on to my wig. Auntie cannot pass Biscuitville. Cannot drive by Biscuitville. Okay,
What do you mean?
right? You cannot drive by it and wave or say, "Oh, they go on." Mm-mm. You
No,
turning right into it, but we still love you.
no. I already cursed
Yeah,
Auntie's biscuits because Auntie was messing with me. So cursed his biscuit. So
And
I
that was mean. You
yeah,
always take it a step too far.
absolutely. I said, you know what? There's levels to it. So now you're just on level one, Auntie. You got three more levels.
you got Biscuitville and that. Ooh, Auntie, I can't believe you still eating that damn chicken McRib. So, but we still love you. We still love you, Auntie.
I love y'all too. And that was all the tea I had for y'all today. I had another, but I think because I didn't realize how late it was, so I could just save them topics for tomorrow.
Okay, well, I'm glad to be here to support Auntie.
Yes, and I want to thank y'all for joining me for sipping this hot tea with me. And before we head out, did anybody have anything they want to share or any news that I may have missed?
No, we'll hold on to my wig, baby. This weather is about to come.
Yes, hold on
Yeah.
to Marcia's wig, and I wishing safety for everyone that's in what's it called, Helena's path.
I know. So thank you. I'm gonna get me some gas and then I'm out.
Yeah. Go on and take care of business.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Y'all have a fantastic day.
Okay.